I don't know how much of that you just heard because it said I was muted, but I am going to start over. So I'm Mindy Flint, and I am a mentor to realtors. I teach realtors how to take their business to the next level. Right now, I'm going to show you how to find property that's not on the market, what would be a good indicator if somebody's ready to sell, and how to approach them about selling their property. So this is the main screen on the MLS or on HAR. And we're going to go to Public Records Realist Tax System. So that's going to take us to the realist. And there are different ways you can view property on realist. I like the hybrid view, you know, because really you can tell homes and such like that. So this property, you know, does not have a house on it. It's just undeveloped land. Roadmap view. Okay, so now we want to see the history on these properties. So we're going to go to property sales data, MLS status, and we're going to check the ones that are active, pending, expired, and sold. It looks like I have too much checked, so it won't let me do sold. I can uncheck some because right now I think I have distressed properties checked. So we'll uncheck that, and then I'll do sold. And we'll do 12 months. If a property has been sold in the last 12 months with that red dot, there's no use to you wasting your time looking it up. You know, we're going to, let's go way out here. Okay, so this is the Hockley Waller area. So these are the property lines, and you can click on the property right here. It says the sale date was in 2015. Beds NA, baths NA, sale price NA. So that tells me that there is not a house on this property. The last time it was sold in 2015. I generally like properties to contact the owner of properties that the sale date is a lot older than this. So I'm going to pass that one up. Let's see what this one is. That one has a house on it. That one has a house on it. So let's change the view. Okay, this one does not have a house. That's still 15. That's 14, but it has a house. Ooh, this is going to be an older one because there's no information here. A lot of times, if you have a property like this where there's no information, the adjoining property, it probably owns it. So this person is Richard Mayfield, and that's Richard Mayfield. So you know that Richard Mayfield owns that, and that one, let's do hybrid. That one looks like, even though it says there's not a house, there's a barn. That's a barn. So these, let's see if this is Richard Mayfield. No, one of these. That one's going to be a good one too. Robin Smith owns it as of 1995. So what I would do is, okay, so let's click on this report and let's see where Richard Mayfield lives, because it didn't look like he was on that property. So Richard Mayfield lives in McAllister lives on McAllister in Houston. I would call on this property because he doesn't live on it, it's undeveloped, and he's just paying taxes on it. It has a market value of $217,800. So what I would do is I would look up his information, got his name, his address, go on the internet, search whitepages.com, find out his phone number. I would try calling him. I would try texting him, and then I would write him a letter and hand address the letter asking him if he wants to sell his property. So let's go in a different area. So you know what? The Woodlands. Woodlands might be an awesome area. Then we're going to go roadmap, Gosling, 45.99. Okay, so a lot of times in the neighborhoods, you're not going to find any undeveloped property or residential lots because they all, the developer owns them all. You're going to have to go out here to the sections that are not developed or are not developed quite as much. Look at all those red dots. We don't want to contact them. Here's some good ones. These purple ones are expired. So this listing, is that a lot? Let's go in closer. That is a lot. And they had it for sale. This one would be a good one to call on. You know they want to sell it. It didn't sell. I don't know why. They live in Kingsland, Texas. This one is an awesome one to call on because they don't even live in Houston. So there's a high probability that it's going to be sold. And it was listed, it expired July of 19. So they had it listed for 65. I wonder why it didn't sell. Let's see if that's a good price. What's that one listed at? That's a house. 1.3. That's a church. Might be a lot that the church is selling. And we're going to get up closer to see what we can see. This one, I don't know why. If I'm doing this property and calling on this property, I'm going to go ahead and print every report for every lot that is undeveloped, and I will just call them all. So I will go ahead and print this one because it's going to be an older one. I'll click on this report. Print it. And I'll take notes over here. So I'll write down, wonder if I can do text on this, annotate. Let's try to annotate. So I'm going to draw, and it's not going to be that good because it's with a mouse, but I'd write down the name here. Yeah, no, we're not going to do that. Then I would write down the cell number and I would put cell so I know it's a cell number, 281-570-3923. That's my number. So if anybody calls that number, that's my number. So I get their name. Let's move that. If they have a landline, I'll put land 281-867-5309. Haha, if I have anybody listening that's of my generation, you will understand that phone number. So I'll write down their name, I'll write down their phone numbers, I'll write down right over here, let's go over here, I will put 6/6/2020, called, emailed, texted. And that's how I keep up with how and when I contacted these people. Now, when I get a lot of times, I'll get a text back and it'll say, I'm sorry, you have the wrong number. So then I will take a pen and I will just mark through. No, we don't want to do that. Let's see if we can go back. I'm going to draw. draw. I'll take a pen and I will just mark through the cell number so I know it's bad. Or if it's a landline and I get the message, I'm sorry, this number has been changed, it's no longer valid, I will mark through that so I know it's bad. And then I go back with the information that I have, trying to find a good contact number. Now I've got on this printout, I can go back and see how many times and when I contacted these people, because and we're going to change the I'll keep track of, I go back and on some of my reports I've started in 2017 contacting them, you know, so I'll have 5-3-2018, and then it tells you know, what I did. If I talk to anybody, I'll say spoke to author and he said he's not ready to sell now. He said he's not ready to sell now, but will consider selling in the future. Okay, so I have that note, so I know I'm going to keep in contact with him, because he said, hey, he didn't say, hey, don't call me, which I never get. I think out of all the years I've been doing this, I've had one person say, please don't call, you know, please don't call me. So with this, I know I need to keep in contact with the Arthur. I'll just touch base with him every 6 months, you know, shoot a text, hey, it's Mindy Flint with the such and such realty. Just want to send you a note to say I always have buyers looking. If you're interested in selling, I can tell you what the going rate is. Just give me a call, you know. And every 6 months I'll do that, and then every 12 months I'll send them a handwritten letter. You know, the letter's not handwritten, the letter's typed, but the address is handwritten. So this is basically how to find undeveloped property. And let's see if we can go back. Oh, that's not going to work. So that is how you find undeveloped property. You can do the same thing on homes. You know, you can look for expired listings, look for you know, withdrawn listings, call them and ask them, you know, would you like to sell? Are you interested in selling? I see that you had it on the market. Would you like me to do a current price analysis for you so I can tell you what it would be listed for now? You know, explain to them your marketing techniques, just different things like that. But I love the undeveloped property because it's so much easier to get somebody to sell a property that they do not live on than it is to get them to sell a property that they do live at. So with the undeveloped property, and we'll take all that off. So we're going to back out. And remember, I'm looking at the sell date. I want super old ones. NA, a lot of times means it's old. NA, that one's going to be old. That one's going to be old. You know, so that's how I found undeveloped properties. Here's another expired right there. And I'll show you again how to get that. So how to get the dots for the MLS status. It's up here. You want property, MLS status, and you check all those. Here's something else I want you to consider. When you're looking at this and you're pricing the properties, you make sure you know if the property is in the flood zone or not in the flood zone. This is how you get the flood zone. You're going to do these little sheets of paper, and then you're going to click on flood zone. And we're going to go ahead and back out. And you do not price a property that's in the flood zone the same as you price a property that's out of the flood zone. And the flood zones are everywhere. You know, make sure you're always checking the flood zone and if the property falls in the flood zone. You really kind of want to shy away from it if it does, because it's going to take longer to sell. It's going to sit on the market longer if it's in the flood zone than it would if it was out of the flood zone. So everything in this orange is out of the flood zone. The yellow is the 500-year floodplain. The purple is 100-year floodway and floodplain. So that is basically it in a nutshell. If you have any questions on this, give me a call. I'm always here to help. If you know of any other realtors that might be interested in what I offer and how to get them to the next level, please send them my information, and I would love to speak with them. Again, thank you so much for listening, and I appreciate it. Now let's see if we can